Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. All right, the first matter we'll take up this morning is the State of Georgia versus Robert Aaron Wong. All right, can I get counsel to identify themselves first for the record?
Good morning, Judge. Admiral Bobby here for the state, along with Executive District Attorney Michael Carlson.
All right, good morning, gentlemen. For the defense?
Good morning, Your Honor. Geraldine Bell for the Office of Georgia Capital Defender's Office.
And also from Georgia Capital Defendant Office, Christian Lamar, on behalf of Mr. Long.
All right. Ms. Bell and Mr. Lamar, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Long. Are both of you appointed counsel of Mr. Long?
We are, Your Honor.
And can you tell me a little bit about your qualifications, please, madam?
Yes, Your Honor. In regards to my qualifications to represent Mr. Long in this case, incur the unified appeal procedure for capital cases in the state of Georgia, I have been a member of good standing in the State Bar of Georgia since 2011, and I have practiced over 5 years of criminal experience. I've been practicing since 1998. I have been lead counsel in over 3 capital non-death penalty trials to verdict, more than one of which was a murder case. And I am familiar with the unified appeal procedure that we're required to follow in these cases. I am also familiar with and experienced in the utilization of expert witnesses and evidence, including both psychological and forensic. And I've had over 10 hours of specialized training specifically in regards to death penalty practice. The last training that I had was about 2 weeks ago, and before that last September. And I also believe that I have demonstrated the necessary proficiency and commitment to exemplify the quality of representation that is appropriate for capital cases.
All right, thank you, madam. Mr. Lamar?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, I am a member in good standing of the Georgia Bar. I've been practicing criminal law as a public defender since 1994. I have been lead or co-counsel in at least one murder trial or non-death penalty. I've also been lead in a death penalty trial to verdict. I have attended, actually last week, subsequent to this appointment, at least 10 hours of specialized training and educational programs in death penalty defense. And I believe that satisfies the requirements under the Unified Appeal.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, at this point in time, Mr. Kearns, can you, I'm going to have this marked as Court 1, and this is copies of the Unified Appeal Procedure. So may the record reflect that I'm going to hand this to defense counsel, the defendant, our 2 prosecutors, and my court reporter, Ms. Weaver, for inclusion in the record. We'll just wait a second till all of you have it, and you would acknowledge that you've been given a copy.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Counsels, that is Ms. Bell and Mr. Lamar.
Yes, Your Honor, we have received a copy, as have our client, Mr. Long.
All right, thank you. Okay. At this point in time, does defense counsel wish to invoke the provisions of OCGA 17-6-1, etc., to participate in reciprocal discovery meetings? Do you want to opt in?
Yes, Your Honor, we are going to opt in, and we will electronically file that this afternoon.
Okay, thank you, madam. All right, at this point in time, I'd also like to see if Mr. Long, through counsel, intends to present a challenge to the composition of the applicable county master jury list, or the manner in which the grand or traverse jury is drawn.
Yes, Your Honor, we intend to file that challenge.
Okay, we will schedule that as soon as we can, so as soon as you file it, if you could please let us know. You can contact Mr. Chamberlain, since we're not the court's not an e-file party, and we'll go ahead and get you scheduled, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Long, this question is for you. Do you have any objections to the defense counsel that have been appointed or the manner in which defense counsel is conducting or has conducted the case thus far, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, counsel, we're going to go ahead and go to part one of the checklist and from the Unified Appeal Procedure. I believe that's page 14. Once y'all get there, just give me a sign saying you're there. Okay, good, thank you. Mr. Lamar? All right, gentlemen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Carlson. All right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just go down the checklist, and after we get through the checklist, we'll talk about one other thing, and then we'll go ahead and get concluded. All right, part one, the arrest. Any issues with the arrest in terms of with warrant, without warrant, investigative detention, and the subparts therein?
Your Honor, we do intend to challenge those. At this point in time, we have not received discovery, and after an investigation, we will file the appropriate motions.
All right, thank you, madam. All right, part B, search and seizure. Any issues of search and seizure that are listed from number 1 with warrant, number 2 without warrant, number 3 of probation person or premises, 4 electronic surveillance, or 5 motion to suppress.
We will file the appropriate motions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, any issues as to the identification of the defendant?
If we see those in the defer, we will file appropriate motions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Are any issues as to confessions and admissions?
At the time, we will file the appropriate motions at the time, Your Honor.
All right. Any issues in regards to bail?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Any issues as to representation by counsel? Right to counsel, right of self-representation, indigent to appointment of attorney of own choosing, factors favoring continuation of existing representation or effective assistance of counsel.
We don't have any at this time, Your Honor, but should it arise, we will file the appropriate motions.
All right, thank you. Any issues as to demurs, motions to quash, and special pleas?
We will file the motions in regards to that.
Okay, any issues as to pleas and bar?
We will file the motions that apply to that as well, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, any issue as to the defendant's mental condition?
Not at the time, but if it arises, Your Honor, we will file those appropriate motions.
All right, anything in regards to discovery?
Not yet, Your Honor.
All right, how about anything in regards to motions for severance?
Not at this time, we will file the appropriate motions.
All right, anything on regards to motion to recuse either judge or prosecutor?
Not at this time, Your Honor, we will file appropriate motions in regards to that.
All right, any issues as to continuances, madam?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any issues as to motions regarding publicity?
We will file appropriate motions with regard to that, Your Honor.
All right, and any issues as to jury composition or challenges? I believe you mentioned already you're going to file.
Yes, we expect to file those.
Okay. All right. Counsel, I believe that concludes the part 1 checklist that is required under the Unified Appeal Procedure. Ms. Bell and Mr. Lamar, I would instruct you to please at this time begin to locate and interview any and all persons whose testimony might be helpful in discovering or supporting available theories of your defense or in mitigation of punishment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. At this point, I think the last thing I need to do with you all is schedule an arraignment and plea on the merits of the indictment. I have one more thing I think I need to do before then. I'm still late. Just 1 second. I skipped over something in terms of arraignment. Is the state going to, I know it's already from the clerk's file that the state is already filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. Is that correct, Mr. Body, Mr. Carlson?
That's correct. That's filed on May 11th this year.
All right, I'll make that court 2.
Yes, sir.
As part of the record in this case.
And just for the record, Judge, in addition to that, we did file a notice under 17-10-17, a notice that the state intends to seek enhanced penalties for crimes involving bias and prejudice when we get to that part of the proceedings.
Okay, all right. Okay, so when you all wish to go ahead and arraign Mr. Long, counsel, need to pick a date with you all. So, Ms. Bell and Mr. Lamar, when do you all think you'd be ready for arraignment?
Is the week of the 20th available for your honor? Of September 20th?
All right, I can check right now. The week of the 20th, I know I'm not going to be available. So, can we take another date like the following week?
Is the 27th available for your honor? Or the week of the 27th?
The week of the 27th is fine.
Okay. You can be flexible with what fits your honor schedule for that week. Although, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I have court on October 1st, so I could do any day that week except October 1st.
And I wouldn't be available on the 30th, Your Honor. I have court in that county.
How's Tuesday, September the 28th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Body, Mr. Carlson, does that work for you all, gentlemen?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So we'll do 28th September, that's a Tuesday, at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, is there anything else I need to cover with you all before we reconvene on the 28th of September?
Just for clarity purposes, we know who to click on the box for the e-file and the e-file thing. Ask the lead counsel, who will be acting as lead counsel for the defendant.
I will, Your Honor.
All right.
And then, just for the record, Your Honor, we wanted to thank you for getting this on as quickly as you did. I know it had to be reset for reasons that were related to COVID, so we appreciate that, Judge.
All right, well, thank you. All right, counsel, do you have anything else before we go ahead and recess on this matter?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well then, we're in recess until the 28th of September at 9 a.m., where we'll conduct an arraignment at that time and proceed forward, okay? All right.